personal Elvis serenade.
In general, better not appear with impersonators or people dressed up as ducks. In fact, people dressed up as anything except themselves is dangerous because, of course, the joke is almost certainly on the well-known politician. So it's a simple bit of choreography. Look round, see if anyone's dressed in funny costume, and say no.
No wonder the Prime Minister looked so uncomfortable with this stunt.
I'm amazed that Gordon didn't just turn around and punch this Elvis, who seemed to at one point just follow Gordon, and Gordon had his back to him, and you just think, well, maybe Elvis follows Gordon everywhere, right into Downing Street, like when he goes to Scotland on holiday. Elvis is just singing, "I'm so." When no one else can understand me.
People around politicians always have clever ideas about how it might look because they want to write their script. They want to sort of say, I've suggested that, I suggested you should do this and, get a dog in Mandelson's case. Some clever person would say, look, Peter, get a dog, right? If you have a dog, people think you're nice. But generally speaking, I would counsel no.
Still to come, a lovely old tart.
Look, all I'm trying to do is have a little, polite little flirt.
And a lovely old tart.
But Louis Spence, he is one special person.
Welcome back to the 50 funniest moments of 2010. If you've just come from a romantic date, then it obviously hasn't gone well. Plus, you didn't see this.
After her mother died, I held her in my arms and breastfed her.
That's disgusting. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
And there's no way you could have seen this bummer. But relax, this is coming.
Nick Griffin is all snake.
I don't even know why I auditioned for a singing competition, because I didn't really even want to do singing, I wanted to do acting.
How are we?
Really, really nervous.
What are your names?
Abby and Lisa. Yeah.
What's the name of the group?
Ab Lisa. Ab Lisa. I'm Abby. And I'm Lisa. And together we're Abby and Lisa.
Ab Lisa was one of the best moments on X Factor this year.
Hang on.
Shut up!
It's always a bit dodgy when you combine your names to form a group name. Hello, we're Sharon and Britt. Together, we're shit.
We went to sing That's My Goal, and that just went tits up. Really bad.
Please, you know where I come from. You know my story.
What I loved the most was Cheryl Cole's face when they started singing, because her face was just like...
Critics agree. They weren't the worst singers ever on X Factor, but they seemed to work better as a comedy double act. And we were about to see the best right hook ever thrown on the show. A classic uppercut.
The Ab Lisa punch-up was probably the moment, not just of my year, but of my life. It was kind of like a dream come true. I've wanted that to happen for years. And it finally did.
Humiliation and violence? I couldn't be happier. It's like all my Christmases had come at once.
I just don't think anyone could believe it happened. It looked like Cheryl was going to choke on something.
I didn't expect I was going to get hit. It goes from wiping her tears away to a smack in the head.
What was quite spooky about those two girls is that one of them was then paid by, I think, the Daily Sport to appear topless.
Well, when I heard about Abby doing a topless shoot, I just thought, well, it's up to her, because obviously they're not my boobs, they're hers.
I saw it accidentally on the internet, and it's something that I cannot, well, when I say accidentally, I clicked a link knowing what it was going to be. Whoever made that girl do that is the most evil person in this country.
So what does the future hold for the multi-talented teenagers?
I think that Ab Lisa could have their own show, basically judging other people's singing. I'd love to see that.
I think there's probably an act to be done there. One girl singing while the other girl punches her. Emo kids would love it.
Don't know if there is a future for Ab Lisa.
I think it's probably the best example you'll ever get of a one-hit wonder.
But that wasn't the biggest heavyweight fight of the year. That honour went to our number 23. This on-stage spat involved two professionals who really should have known better. Awards ceremonies are boring by anyone's standards, but is this kind of monkey business necessary?
Patrick Stewart was having a bit of a moan to James about having his hands in his pockets.
When the presenters are up here and when the recipients are receiving their awards, don't stand at the back of the stage with your hands in your pockets, looking around as though you wished you were anywhere but here.
Oh, you couldn't be more wrong, sir.
Oh, that was all a bit wrong, wasn't it?
Mature stag taking on the new young blood and locking horns.
When you come up and present an award, just fucking get on with it. There we go.
That was Patrick Stewart. He's a great man.
He who dares
Patrick Stewart just tucked into him, mocking him about his weight.
From where I was sitting, I can see your belly.
He chooses to do it in a thought-through Shakespearean voice. I was at the back of the room, and I could see your belly.
The thing is, he could have gone, but he didn't, did he?
You can see my belly, and we can all see you dying right now. Let's go for it. Here we go.
It's basically one guy going, "You're a bit fat," and the other guy going, "Yeah, well, you're not very funny."
I think James Corden was a bit out of order then, actually, if I'm honest. You know, I think he's a very funny man, but yes, fine, Patrick Stewart's rambling a little bit, but he's old. He's very old. That was just so tense and awkward. Brilliant for TV, but I would not have liked to have been on that stage at that time.
If you fancy the Jonas Brothers, cover your belly.
When you are captain of the Enterprise, making fat jokes should be beneath you.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the punchline. Go on.
That's very Klingon to do, by the way. Very Klingon.
People coming out, Team Corden, Team Stewart, and it was like, no, nobody won that. Everybody looked bad.
I don't think either of them would have really wanted that situation, but it had already started and, you know, there was going to be no stopping. But it was quite funny.
Okay, can we get a taxi ready, please? The old man going home.
When it snows abroad, it's fun. It's a laugh. It's a day off work. But what we get in Britain is bastard snow. Look how the evil flakes fall on everyone, totally fucking up their lives for a couple of days.
I have noticed in the years that I've been here that the UK is pretty hopeless with snow. Goes straight to panic stations. When even a hint of snow, everyone's like, "Ah!"
Snow that's been falling since last night brought renewed misery for travellers.
It affected me quite badly, the snow, because on the flight back from Antigua, the first-class service was appalling on the plane because they didn't have the right staff.
I think it's a good excuse to have a day off, isn't it?
Well, fair enough. Some of us do know how to enjoy ourselves.
Whatever happens, keep smiling.
Last year, the cops in Oxford proved that they were human too and became bobsledding bobbies.
Oh, he's going in the ditch? Oh, that's all right.
A note to anarchists and troublemakers in general. If the police are using their riot shields as toboggans, you really need to up your game.
I think I particularly like the way that TV news thinks that the only way we can handle the idea of snow is people falling over on snow. Camera crews position themselves next to an icy patch, and they clearly must just hover there. Wait for it, wait for it.
I think Pineapple Studios is genius. But Louis Spence, he is one special person.
There's nothing wrong with working in Sainsbury's or Asda Packet. There's nothing wrong. But imagine me down the aisles. Right, spaghetti, baked beans. I mean, you know, it's not going to happen, is it?
In this country, we love a freak. Give us a Jedward, give us most of the people on Britain's Got Talent, but most of all, give us Louis Spence. A man who can move his body and rotate his joints in ways that human beings have evolved not to.